Please put your hands together to give Inspector Joe Kitching a very warm applause. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mark, and can I thank you once again for this opportunity. It's very rare, if not, it never occurs that practitioners like myself get an opportunity to participate in this program, particularly with an opportunity to co-author a paper with you in relation to a very important topic that affects our local community, and that is around a fear of crime and community safety issues. So can I thank you, and can I also thank you for the time that you have spent to support me in preparing this paper, because without you it basically wouldn't have got done. I would not have had the time and did not have the opportunity to do the research around the theory and some of the practice that will make the paper something that might be worthwhile going in the future. So thank you very much. Just as a bit of an overview, first of all, as Dr. Mark said, my name is Joe Kitching. I'm an Inspector of Police. I've been in the Townsville District for a long time, but most importantly over the last 4 years I've had the opportunity to head up what is now known as the Townsville Rapid Action Patrol Unit, which has given us an opportunity to do things a little bit differently in Townsville that we've had the opportunity to do before in a policing context. So this paper really talks about some of those things, and hopefully we can get some mileage out of it and we can move forward from the position we're in today about how we do business. So I do apologise, I will read from the paper. I haven't got a flash PowerPoint presentation to run off of, but it's probably important that I do that so I don't miss anything. So if you just bear with me. And probably won't be as successful as Dr. Mark is reading a 4,000 word paper without turning the page. So first of all, the Queensland Police Service is a law enforcement agency in the state of Queensland. Section 2.3 of the Police Service Administration Act 1990 in part outlines the function of the police service to include the preservation of peace and good order, protection of the community, prevention of crime, and the detection and bringing of offenders to justice. The Townsville Police District is one of 15 police districts in the state charged with the execution of these very functions of the service. The QPS strategic plan clearly identifies 4 of our strategic objectives, those being stopping crime, making the community safer, strengthening our relationships with the community, and equipping our workforce for the future. The Townsville Police District aligns its service delivery to these strategic objectives through the Townsville District Operational Plan. In early 2014, the Townsville experienced apparent spikes in property crime related offences across the city. These offences included breaking and entering victims' homes and business premises, stealing vehicles and stealing property from motor vehicles. Thus, it was not surprising that during this time the Townsville community became agitated and expressed fear for their personal safety via various social media platforms, for example Facebook, Twitter and other forms, because of this perceived increase in offending. At this time, the Townsville Police District conducted a formal review of crime statistics and identified that although offending rates were prevalent across the community, the rates of offending were less than the previous year in the identified crime classes. However, in response to this growing fear of the community and the perceived increase in crime rates, the Townsville Police District commenced both proactive and reactive operational policing methodologies driven by intelligence-led policing strategies so as to more effectively reduce offending and the fear of crime across the community. I will therefore explain how this dual approach of reactive policing operations executed to target offenders and proactive strategies to develop and build relationships with the community and other agencies resulted in the formation of a new policing organisational unit known as the Townsville Rapid Action and Patrols. This new policing unit provided the opportunity to task police to go beyond the mere deterrence of crime and gather intelligence so as to assist in identifying the underlying causes of crime, share that information with other agencies, and develop rehabilitative and reintegrative strategies to engage and support vulnerable people in the community. Notwithstanding the ostensibly enforcement-orientated name given to the unit, as in the Townsville Rapid Action and Patrols, quickly transformed itself from a predominantly reactive service delivery model to one that was, and still is, proactive and predictive, as well as focused on improving organisational agility, visibility, legitimacy and engagement. This paper will thereafter outline the range of benefits achieved through proactive policing operations and information sharing with other stakeholders. So the setting up of the Townsville RAP. In 2014, the QPS underwent a period of organisational renewal guided by the public sector renewal process and informed by the findings and recommendations of the 2013 Police and Community Safety Review and the Commission of Audit report to ensure the department aligned with whole of government direction. During this process, the QPS undertook a task of developing an integrated service delivery model so as to promote agility, visibility and legitimacy by working in partnership with other agencies, external service providers and the community. One of the components of the ISDM was implementation of the Hub Policing Initiative. To that end, the Townsville Police District commenced a hub policing model known as the Townsville RAP on the 28th of November 2014, which was followed by the new initiative that had been trialled at the Gold Coast, which commenced in July 2014. The RAP is an intelligence-driven policing model where officers primarily focus on proactive operational strategies, however still remain available to respond to calls for service when required by local police communication centre. According to Chandler and Thorne, this intelligence process is important because it provides the police with an ordered way of thinking critically and hence the best chance of not having missed anything, regardless of whether it is used at a basic level for solving street crime or at a strategic level. This policing model therefore provides a flexible and agile capability to deploy police to the right place at the right time through the use of local intelligence analysis. To that end, all officers are equipped with a mobile service device with Q-Light application, which allows them to access real-time information intelligence through searches on persons, licence, vehicle, organisation, location, vessel, custody and offender history whilst they are in the field. The information submitted via the Q-Light app is pushed back into Q-Prime, the police information database, in real time, thereby leading to a rapid information sharing throughout the QPS. This allows police to collect information in the field, including photographs, using the device to upload the information directly into the police database. This information advancement in technology used by frontline police officers allows immediate analysis of information and data which is sanitised and converted into real-time intelligence. It is interesting here to highlight the QPS through Q-Prime and hotspot policing, sorry, not as good as Dr. Mark, that through Q-Prime was, as noted by Chandler and Thorne, the first police service in Australia to adopt the ambitious single integrated information system, thus consolidating numerous and various data systems, consequently saving time and improving data management. An example of the important use of the mobile services technology is the ability for police to immediately record details of a person intercepted in the community and include detailed information in the form of a street check. This information is primarily used by investigators as an instrument of detection, but soon became an important intelligence tool to assist in identifying vulnerable people in the community and providing accurate and timely information to support early intervention and engagement strategies into the future. To sustain currency in broad operational policing methodology and personal development, RAP officers' positions are designated as district appointments, which allows for the flexibility to rotate officers to other stations and sections and to relieve in different areas, thereby broadening their skill sets. This rotational strategy provides a platform to continually enhance and expand the Hub Policing Initiative by integrating officers across the district through internal relationship development and information sharing. This human resource methodology is a crucial component to ensure the RAP is able to sustain a flexible and agile workforce in an ever-changing environment. Prior to the commencement of the RAP, the Townsville Police District implemented a targeted policing operation codenamed Operation Mike Adamant. The operation was launched in February 2014 with a mission to identify and prosecute property offenders and stop crime across the Townsville metropolitan area. This policing operation was an internally resourced task force model where officers were drawn from the Townsville Police District to inject officers into crime hotspots to identify offenders and stop crime. The opportunity delivered a highly visible policing presence across Townsville community and formed the basis to ground the operational initiative of the Townsville RAP. Consequently, the RAP initiative clearly has its roots in hotspot policing, a model that employs a physical police presence as a tool of general deterrence and an increased risk of apprehension. However, its mandate was more than just that, more than just the traditional ways of policing the community through the deterrent quality of reactive policing and strict enforcement. Through intelligence collation and analysis, as well as stakeholder partnerships, the RAP would also proactively focus on known offenders within the community and, in an effort, attempt to preempt crime from occurring. This intelligence-led policing approach has been described as being a fusion of traditional and community policing models, the latter which concerns itself with engagement and consultation with local communities to identify local crime problems. An excellent illustration of how the Townsville RAP moved beyond mere deterrence and reactive policing can be seen in its role in working with partner agencies and ensuring compliance by known offenders of their court community-based orders. This includes conducting checks on offenders through police visitations to ensure compliance with court-ordered curfew and conditional release orders under the supervision of Queensland Probation and Parole. Perhaps more importantly, such encounters with these known offenders have also been used to build positive relationships with them. In tandem with this role, the Townsville RAP officers would likewise build bridges with the community by working and interacting with residents from within the neighbourhoods so as to create positive relationships with them as well. The influence of mass media. Nevertheless, in 2016, the local media continued to report on rising crime rates, with Townsville being labelled as the crime capital of Queensland in Parliament. In fact, the Townsville Bulletin's front page article notionally renamed Townsville as Crimsville, highlighting how apparent high levels of crime were impacting upon the community's perception of safety. This constant media barrage relating to property offences continued in 2017, when the media reported property crime as being out of control, and again in 2018 graphically comparing property crime offences in the cities of Mackay, Townsville and the Capricornia area. It is arguable that the local media, through its relentless reporting, had a major impact on the perceptions of the residents in Townsville in relation to their own personal safety in particular and their own fear of crime in the community more generally. The relationship between media coverage and the fear of crime has been explained to a certain degree by the cultivations of the thesis by Witzner and Kubrin, who pointed out that the greater one's exposure to the media, the more likely it is that one's perception of the real world will match what is most frequently depicted in the media. More pertinently, the authors highlighted that with regard to crime, the media disproportionately report on violent crime, largely neglect crime patterns, give little attention to the causes of crime, and leave the impression that crime is often random and inexplicable. This media world, especially television, differs greatly from the real world of crime and may cultivate a perception that the world is a scary place. Repeated exposure to media coverage of crime may thus generate fear and insecurity amongst the viewers. Another theory that may shed further light on this relationship between the media and the levels of fear of crime is the resonance thesis. Wiesner and Kubrin expounded that when media images are consistent with lived experiences, that is, criminal victimisation residing in a high crime community, media and experience mutually enforce citizens' fears. Both of these theories could be reasonably used to explain how the influence of traditional mass media, for example newspapers, television, radio and social media, as well as new media and social media, have impacted upon the levels and anxiety and fear of crime across the community in the Townsville Police District. Consequently, the Townsville RAP provided an opportunity to strive towards a holistic approach to policing and going beyond mere deterrence. While it still remains true that the primary objectives of the police are to prevent crime as well as detect and bring offenders to justice through targeted policing operations like Operation Mike Adamant and Oscar Merchant, it should however be highlighted that the RAP Policing Initiative actually established a platform to do things differently, not just focus on the aim of deterrence but to go beyond it, to strive towards a holistic approach to policing. In fact, the QPS readily acknowledged that the police alone cannot resolve community safety issues that impact on the fear of crime experienced by members of our community simply through the arrest and prosecution of offenders. To that end, the Queensland Police Commissioner Ian Stewart, in his reappointment to the helm of the QPS in 2017, advised the community that the police would seek to expand its crime prevention programs aimed at keeping young people out of the criminal justice system. He went on to say that while serious recidivist offenders will be prosecuted, those facing minor matters, however, could be subject to a range of diversionary programs. As a consequence, the police in Townsville and more generally, and the RAP in particular, work closely with other public service agencies through formal referral pathways for identified vulnerable people to assist with the development and early intervention initiatives. The creation and maintenance of such interagency and agency community partnerships have been strongly encouraged by the state. And in 2016, the Queensland Government, through the Strong Communities Initiative, implemented a 5-point plan to reduce crime in Townsville. The very first point of this plan was targeted policing and was put into effect through a task force operation codenamed Operation Oscar Merchant, where 30 additional police officers were deployed to Townsville for 30 days as part of the first phase to boost the intensity of a policing response so as to reduce offending, enhance community safety and restore community confidence. This operation continued in the second phase after the initial 30 days deployment and with further support from outside Townsville. The operation was executed during the period of September 2016 to March 2017 and resulted in the arrest of 1,449 persons on 3,772 charges, predominantly for drug, traffic and property offences. The success of the operation to reduce youth crime is acknowledged by the Queensland Police Minister, the Honourable Mr Mark Ryan, in a ministerial statement in Parliament outlining the results of the operation and the progress of the Strong Communities Initiative. This whole-of-government approach resulted in the forming of the Townsville Strong Communities Action Group, known as TSCAG. TSCAG is essentially a collaboration of 7 senior representatives from agencies led by an Inspector of Police and appointed as the government coordinator, and acknowledged there will be a presentation from TSCAG shortly. Those 7 agencies include the QPS, Youth Justice Services, Townsville Health Services, Department of Child Safety, Department of Housing and Public Works, Department of Education and Department of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Partnership. TSCAG was formed in October 2006 and as part of the 5-point plan mentioned earlier to break the cycle of youth crime across Townsville, with staff co-located at the QPS premises at the Townsville Policing Hub alongside the RAP and the Townsville District Intelligence Office. TSCAG's main objective is to work intensively with young people and their families by coordinating the services that are designed to support these families to become positive contributors to the community and break the cycle of crime. Now, this was our perfect opportunity to really engage with other agencies with their support, their very high-level support, to do things differently. The groundwork had been set in the formation and operation of the RAP. We now had a delivery model to progress that arrangement. This approach clearly evidences a rehabilitative and regenerative ethos, reintegrative ethos, as opposed to one that is primarily focused on deterrence and retribution. It is really important to bear in mind that because the Townsville RAP is actually the operational arm of the Townsville Strong Communities Action Group, we then had the opportunity to go out and work with our other partner agencies with the community. Consequently, while the Townsville RAP certainly conducts tasks that are deterrent in nature, it is likewise holistically tasked to perform joint visits of vulnerable persons of the community in support of the action group to locate and engage young offenders at risk and their families so as to help them lead more productive lives. The co-location of this action group, strategically positioned as it were with the Townsville RAP policing unit, is no coincidence, as the former actively receives information from frontline police officers, particularly the RAP, relating to suspected criminal behaviours and activities of vulnerable people. The opportunity to refer known young offenders, at-risk youth, as well as other vulnerable people to various programs and initiatives through such information sharing arrangements with TSCAG occurs daily. As a consequence, this collaboration has led to numerous success stories where there has been an improvement in school attendance, reduced offending, fewer street checks at night involving vulnerable people, and improved parental involvement in the children's lives. As I have said previously in the media, with the additional officers that have been sourced by the Townsville RAP, they'll be able to even do more work and engage with the community in a proactive space to identify those people who may be at risk of offending and implement some alternative strategies for them. In fact, the role that partnerships play in this regard is critical, and that by the RAP combining with other agencies, hopefully we can make some change in their lives without them having to turn to offending. So in summary, there is no doubt that the Townsville RAP plays an important role in potentially deterring crime through its enforcement powers and the deployment of the intelligence-led hotspot operations. For example, April 2017 to June 2017, Operation Papa Advance led to 405 persons charged with 163 arrested for property crime offences. What is not so clear, however, is the extent to which the Townsville RAP rehabilitative, integrative and community engagement efforts have resulted in similar success. This is potentially more difficult to measure as compared to simply calculating the number of arrests and charges laid as a result of a policing operation. In the meantime, however, there are some indications that the RAP is performing its various tasks well. As early as March 2015, the then Police Minister, the Honourable Ms Joanne Miller, commended the work done by the policing unit, highlighting in particular how over a period of 3 to 4 months, RAP had responded to around 1,300 calls for service, attended to 7,750 street checks, issued 389 infringement notices and conducted more than 3,000 random breath tests, resulting in a total of 728 charges laid against 351 people. In June 2017, 20 extra RAP officers were earmarked to be deployed to Townsville, which according to the Queensland Police Commissioner, Mr Ian Stewart, was in recognition of the Townsville RAP's pivotal role in addressing community safety concerns across the city over the past 12 months, and that he was confident that by increasing the capability of the unit, the RAP will continue to build on its achievements across the district in the future. So what's next? Where do we go to from here? While there is evidently strong institutional support for the RAP, particularly in relation to its intelligence-led operations, it is arguable that more effort should go into conceptualising and thereafter operationalising the rehabilitative, reintegrative and community engagement tasks that the RAP is already performing as part of its current proactive role of being the operational arm of TSCAG. To that end, clear performance indicators and outcomes must be explicitly articulated, and as a consequence, RAP officers must be able to immediately discern how their rehabilitative, reintegrative and community engagement efforts will ultimately result in the reduction of crime, antisocial behaviours and fear of crime within our community. These clear linkages will encourage and cognitively empower RAP officers to go that extra mile, to go beyond mere deterrence, because they will know that their holistic efforts, including that of deterrence, will be able to help some young people back on track and to lead more productive lives and more generally make our community a safer place to live. Thank you.